this is an apocalypse update. So, hello, my Cerberus peeps. I bet you thought I disappeared, like I always tended to do. I've got good reasons. And this update might be a little long, but I'm going to try to just stick to the point, which is, I'm not very good at, and not bore you too much, but it is way past time for an apocalypse update on what the publishing company is doing and what I'm doing. So first, where have I been, right? Some of you don't care, but those of you who care, I will tell you where I've been. I had 24 hours left to live, and I had to have emergency surgery. Yep. Now, I am sporting a brand new haircut because I was in the hospital a long time. And my gorgeous 1 meter long hair became a big baseball knot at the back of my neck because I could not maintain it. And so I was transferring from one hospital to physical therapy hospital and stopped on the way and got my hair cut. And the joy to that is that my hair was still able to be saved and donated to Locks of Love. Or I think it was Locks of Love. It might be the other organization. So, yeah, I had to have an operation. But for you haters, well, you deserve to die for voluntarily canceling child support or breathing in my neighborhood, or insert really stupid excuse here. It was scary, but the positivity out of it is enormous. So I deserve to die, whatever. I can tell you that my near-death experience was surreal. Really surreal. Not for this channel surreal, let me find one of my magic blogs or something surreal. So I'm liking this new haircut. I let the hairdresser choose. She parted it in the middle, and it's that one that goes up, but I've always parted my hair to the side, and I think that's better. And I might keep it short. I might reshape it and keep it short for a little while, see, before letting it grow. There are all these hairstyles I want to try. And I'm like, where did I put my hair curler, which I hadn't used in like 20 years? Where did I, because I know it's here. I've seen it. Oh, I need to get a new crimper. Oh, I need money to get a new crimper. I want to do all these things, because you can do a whole lot of hairstyles with long hair, but having a change makes you want to play with it. It's all bouncy. I asked for bangs, but I didn't get that. The poor woman, I wanted to cut up the hair. The hairdresser was so mortified at cutting my long hair. I think this is the best she could bring herself to do, and she did a good job. She did a good job. We gave her the biggest tip we could afford, and that was thanks to a dear friend of mine who paid for the haircut, because on the downside, my husband lost his job from staying by my side at the hospital, which on a couple accounts was the best move because some things happened, because bureaucracy is just that. And but the bright side to that is he's got a tentative offer for a job that paid twice as much as what he lost. So we'll see if it's worth it. Like I said, positivity abounds. And, they say when a door closes, a window opens. Well, in our case, the door closed and we took some dynamite and we started blowing out walls. We don't have time for this window shit. We just don't. So on that front, I'm still healing. There is another operation I have to go through, but I'm 40 pounds lighter. Not necessarily because I got sick, because I also started doing a new diet, largely in thanks to my old roommate. You may remember her, Lady Choshu. She went and got this operation to put a stomach sleeve on so that her stomach pouch would be smaller, so that she could lose weight. She's been losing weight enormously, and I thought to myself, and I remembered when I was young, Dolly Parton did something similar and lost a lot of weight, and I was like, oh. So I started decreasing how much I ate, and really wish I had caught on to this 20 years ago. Of course, lately I've been overeating like a pig, and I've got to get that back in control. Water is my friend. If I think I'm hungry and I know I've ate, water is my friend. So, and I do not endorse this brand on this video. hopefully I kept the label covered. So anyway, so onward to that. I'm sure you're bored with that now. The publishing company. What are the Apocalypse writers up to? What are we doing? Leslie Fish put together another book. It is a collection of short stories. I really enjoyed reading it while I put it together. There's one story in here I was like, oh, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? And I loved the ending. And it's she has entitled it Nobody's Fools. And this is my prototype. This cover image I have been holding on to for a while. I had bought the rights to it from Dollar Photo Club, which is now defunct thanks to Adobe. And I love how it looks. Let me get a little closer for you so you can try to see. Nobody's Victims, Leslie Fish, beautiful spine, and then the back. Let me read the back for you. A woman oddly eager to rent a haunted apartment. A girl with poetic and prophetic movies in her head. An urban road warrior with psychic talent. An oppressed poet with an unusually wise dog. A betrayed cave climber harrows hell. An old widow defeats an army. A primitive hunter's view of a grim ancient tale. Weird Stories of Women Who Are Nobody's Victims by folk singer Leslie Fish. And if you want to know more about Leslie Fish, you can go to lesliefish.com. She's been pretty active lately. I'm very pleased to see. I kind of encouraged her to, and she has done it. She held an online folk sing recently, and her birthday passed a few days ago, and I think there's a party happening right now. Could be wrong, but I'm too far away to go. And the truth is, I'm talking to you with the bona fide swine flu. Like I'm on the tail end of it. So nobody visits right now, and we don't visit nobody right now. Okay. So this is our next thing coming out. I'm excited. I love how the interior looks. There are some tweaks. There's just a couple of tweaks. Nothing big that's got to be happening this month. And then I'm going to be putting in a book giveaway at library thing. I'm hoping to do it before the end of this month so that it will be open the 1st of next month. I told you I was sick, right? That's the problem with what happened to me. My immune system's a little low right now, but I am still much better. There were these mysterious migraines I was getting. Oddly, I haven't had one since the operation, and I'm crossing my fingers and thinking, because nobody could figure these migraines out, they were weird. I'm thinking maybe it was tied to my problem. I'm hoping that it's over if that's the case, because these migraines, they sucked. So, library thing. Giveaway. My goal, 1st of next month. Ignore my cat meowing in the background. I will make no promises. This is my goal. So keep an eye open for Nobody's Victims if you want to try for a free ebook copy. I give away both an EPUB and a Mobi for people to read it and give honest reviews. Now, when it comes to honest reviews, I ask you, please, 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 if you're going to review, know how to read. There was a review on one of Leslie's books a couple of years ago that I'm still shaking my head at, because the woman stated she loved the book, but she gave it 1 star. Why? Because Leslie used the phonetic spelling of a Texan word, and I can't remember the word, but it was something like "ape," you know. And this person clearly didn't understand that when you do words with accents, you know, will do things like that if you are an educated author. Just look at Mark Twain. And gave it a 1 star because of that one word. And I'm shaking my head at that because if you're going to review, please know your material, please. You know, it's like I don't know, if I went to the Eiffel Tower and tore apart how it was built when I know nothing about construction hardly at all. Like, I know how to build a bookshelf, okay? That's hardly comparable to the Eiffel Tower. But moving along, just remember, Nobody's victims. Moving along, I have Akashic News, guys. I have Akashic News. It's been a while, right? And yes, it is the usual. I'm working on it. If you go to akashiconline.com, and I'll link it below, you'll see that once in a while I'll put up a development picture. What? You thought I had stopped? It's just life and sickness and everything, and trying to pay bills and working, as has been the obstacle, but it doesn't mean I've given up. It's just I'm trying to finish The Heavenly Bride first. But while I was stuck in the hospital, more huge positivity. While I was stuck in the hospital, I was pondering things I studied, because as some of you may know, I'm into ufology a little bit, particularly the alien hybrid agenda portion. And was pondering that, and I was pondering Akashic, and just thinking, because what else am I going to do? I really, really, really wanted to go home and paint and create. Being stuck in that hospital bed really motivated me to not be in a hospital bed and create. And it was like I had an aha moment, and I realized the opening to Akashic, which I've always had problematic. It kind of bothered me. I knew it wasn't complete. Things didn't work out. The backstory to the world and what was going on didn't quite work out. Completely laid itself flat with everything I have learned studying fringe politics and things. And I hardly know anything about the things I study. And I can't imagine how much more fleshed things will get out the more I learn. So I came home, and as soon as I was able to sit up for more than a few minutes, I sat down, and the most recent update is a character named Leviathan, and I will not tell you too much about him. His friends call him Levitt. He is a Cerberus pup, and I had originally written him out, and then I realized his story kind of important, and yeah, so he is being added back into the story so that some things that we're getting that were only glossed over and mentioned in like a couple of flashbacks will be covered and dealt with. And our lovely Lady at House, the leading lady, will have to cope with this. And I don't know if you guys have caught on that she's not really good at coping with some things. Her method of coping involves fireballs. Fireballs, fireballs, fireballs. So I put that up. So again, you can go to Akashic Online to see the latest artwork. And again, let me remind you that even though I am using 3D as my fundamental character developments, the comic itself will probably not be 3D. I don't know, it might. It depends on if I can get the render style looking the way I want. Because, sometimes I will draw still, but the biggest reason why I went to 3D is because my art style tends to fluctuate from panel to panel, and using 3D and working hard to develop characters that looked like my drawing style so that it was still me in the comic creating art keeps the art style unified. And for those of you guys who don't realize this, this is actually a lot more work than when I would just sit down and draw on a page. Oh, it is a lot more work. I am talking, it has taken me a year sometimes to develop a character. But with this finally, on Akashic finally settling, where I say, Akashic's in the works, I'm coming back to it, I need you to understand that this is a big step. This is one of the things that was holding me back. And the only thing that has stopped me from sitting down and tweaking the script, yes, I still have the old script, but that's changing too, is, well, time and work. So good things are ahead on that. This is all a big plus. I mean, in tarot, when you're served up the Tower card, they say it's, well, some people say it's the worst card in the deck. Others people say it's the Nine of Swords. But the Tower card signifies big change, and I was served a big, fat Tower card. But, oh my gosh, the positivity. Now, the last thing I want to cover is the Mohican Project, which is handled on another one of my channels. I don't talk about it often here, but I have stepped out and away from book formatting a lot so I can have more time for comics, and also for my career change into voice acting, where I have been trying to do more audiobooks through Amazon. And this means, you know, this entire change, one, to address my love of acting, but two, to address my health, and also the fact that, you know, I'm not a spring chicken no more. And I would like to be able to do things that I have put on hold for everyone else my whole life, and it's time for me, right? So the Mohegan Project, I haven't really been on. I would make cartoons and little videos teaching you the language of my people. And I'm not fluent. I'm learning as I create these. And I have not made any while I concentrate on studying. Here's my cards. And I can tell you, and I'm going to give you this word as a final parting. This is a word anybody can use. It's a word that we use nearly every day as Americans. Mikachut. What does mikachut mean? Feces. Because you see, my problem's a colon problem, and I had the word for feces memorized in like 10 minutes. Mikachut. So that's enough mikachut for one video. This is 16 minutes long now. And I have rambled because I didn't have a script. I just realized there needed to be a video. For those of you who ask questions on my channel, I should let you know that I actually have notifications turned off because of the troll farms that found this channel and attacked, and I just didn't have time for that kind of infantile mikachut. So if you ask me a question and I don't answer right away, it's nothing personal. I do try to check on occasion, and then sometimes I don't notice there's a remark for months because of, well, let's face it, I was in ICU for a while. So my apologies to people. That does remind me. Last thing. People who come to this channel for my crafting reviews and about the cutter. Well, that's why there's not been anything lately. I do have a project that I thought up in my head that I have to learn how to use the Dremel tool to create. So this will be a learning curve, and I need a good couple of free days with nothing else to do to get started on this project. We'll see how it goes. And you'll either get you'll probably get a video of me going, roar, this sucks! And then later on, this is wonderful, I got it, oh my God, it's amazing, the best thing ever since sliced bread and sliced cheese, yay! So we'll see. But with that, I'm going to sign off. Just remember, nobody's victims. I'm nobody's victim. Are you nobody's victim? Why should we be victims when we can be winners?